Hey guys, Chris at Rockford Ordnance. We've got something really special for you today. Been always kind of into folding stocks and under folders and all that, but I never had a side folder. So something super special today. We got a wasser folder, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. All right. Forget it. Nothing special about this, right? But there is something special with what it came with. I think some of you guys may know what this is. This is a Romanian RPK Paratrooper kit. The great thing about this particular kit is it's all numbers matching, and it was unissued. Absolutely unissued. Not a shot fired through this thing. There's not a mark on the carrier, a mark on the bolt, nothing. It is absolutely brand new as it came out of the factory. It was demilled, and here you see it. When I opened the box, I was just shocked. It came from Arms of America, and I talked to Andrew there, and he was super nice. I told him the idea I had, and he said, I got just the thing for you. He says, I've got an unissued one, and I'm going to send it to you. So here it is. And, I don't know Andrew other than talking on the phone with him. And you think, well, okay, yeah, he'll send me one of his nicer ones, but, what's it really going to be? Well, when I opened the box, I was floored. Now, what you see here is exactly how it came, other than I did clean it up. There was a little bit of cosmoline, not what you're used to, crazy amounts, just a little bit. I cleaned that off, oiled it up. The wood I cleaned with Murphy's oil soap and put a little furniture polish on it, and that's it. This thing, the plan was to refinish the metal. I've been asking questions about these because I saw one in a video up close, and the thing looked blued, almost like a Yugo M70 or something. Now that I have it in hand, it's not that much different than a wasser. Let me tell you one of my thoughts. When I was looking at this, I'm thinking, I got a wasser 12 years ago or something like that. Right after everything sunsetted, and I got a wasser. And I remember, I didn't know anything about them then. I remember looking at the gun and thinking, this is a used gun. The typical Cougar scuffs and all of that. Let me tell you something. This gun here is in better shape than your average wasser comes. Probably even the ones coming in today, which are a little nicer. This thing is immaculate. As far as numbers matching, let's go over that real quick, and I'll start at one end and kind of work my way through what has matching numbers. First of all, the top cover, the recoil spring guide, the bolt carrier, the bolt, the gas tube, the fore end, the front trunnion, the safety, the hammer. Am I missing anything? Oh, the front sight. All of those are matching serial numbers. All stamped, all correct, everything. As far as wear on the gun, other than little storage marks here and there, the only thing I can see that has any wear to the finish at all is the face of the hammer a little bit. But the weird thing is, it doesn't seem like it's wear from a carrier going across. Doesn't even seem like it's, you know, from hitting the firing pin or anything. I don't know why it's worn there when you look at the carrier. Now, look at the underside of this carrier, guys. It's never been even cocked. It's never run over the hammer. That's black, blue as day is long. Look at this. No scratches, no nothing. The underneath of it, it's not even run. Look at the sides and the rails. There's nothing. Look at the tail. Can you see the tail? Let me see. There you go. It's not been touched. Look at the piston, for Christ's sake. I mean, the piston is absolute. That's not carbon on top. It's colored black. It's like bluing or something. I don't know. But it's absolutely new. Now this is finished super smooth. It's black oxide. You know, there's a lot of debate as to how these things were finished. And I absolutely want to have it finished the correct way. It's so nice I could put it together, just have the receiver done and the barrel. Got a Green Mountain barrel, RPK barrel, and it's magnificent. Everything's going to fit on it, no problems with journals or anything. As far as markings on the trunnions and stuff, they're all number 2s. I'll show you some pictures of it, some close-ups. A couple of things. One I couldn't figure out. The trunnion's definitely a 2. Actually, they put 2 stamps in it with number 2. One of these, I couldn't figure out the stamp. Yeah, the front sight block. There's a marking here, but it looks like it's crossed out. I'll show a picture of it, but to give you an idea of finish, I mean, everything's just perfect. Let me show you the wood on this. You know, I always tended to believe that you see surplus wood and you see the shellac and drips and runs and stuff like that. And I always kind of thought, well, that's just the communist way of doing things, you know. But when I looked at this, it's really well applied. No runs, no drips, no errors. And God, there's not even a dent in this thing. It's got the serial number, but take a look at that. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. You know, there's guys out there right now that would die just to have this, you know, because they are wider for the RPK than the regular ones that were on Wassers and whatnot. But absolutely mint. Gas tube cover. It's a little darker or red, more reddish, but serial number is there, matching. The wood is, again, just perfect. And not a mark on the finish. What else? The bipod. Bipod, not a mark on it. It is the adjustable leg. And I saw someone else had a kit they showed and it was missing the spring. This has the spring. The adjustable legs, you loosen up the screws and they come down. So it's nice, you know, your 40 rounders aren't gonna hit. Drums will fit either way, but it just gives you a little more height. I've got an Aes 10B fixed stock and love that gun, and this thing is just one of the prides of my collection. The only piece that had a little wear other than the hammer was the plate that goes under the trigger guard, and that had a little, I don't know, not rust I wouldn't say, but just some discoloration, and it was demilled kind of crappy. That's probably a little harder to drill than most things. As far as the trunnion and how they demilled it, got the barrel pin here, and It doesn't look like they egged anything out on the main hole. It kind of looks like it because they got into the trunnion a hair right here, but really not a bad job. Nothing's egged out that I can see. If you guys see something, please comment below, let me know. You know, I haven't really built anything, so I'd like to know if you see anything that scares you a little bit about this. Here's the other side and the serial number, but hopefully you can see it. Not going to need to knurl the barrel. It's I put it up there, and it's not sliding over or anything. There's plenty of snugness there, so to speak. I may have an answer. There's a lot of conversation about what the finish was on these. Some guys say, black oxide / bluing or whatever. Some say, well, the washers were blasted and that's what gives them their rough texture, and they just oxided them a thin coat, because we all know how they come off so easy on the washers. But, I'm not all that familiar with it, and guys kept saying, well, oxide / blue or blue / oxide, and all these different answers. Well, I noticed something funny. When you put the sight block and trunnion together as they would sit on the barrel like this, looks normal, right? Coating's all the same. Well, pull this apart, and which piece is it? This one. Do you guys see the difference in finish? It goes on an angle here that matches the angle of the trunnion. So in other words, it's behind the trunnion. Like, they didn't put the final finish on it till everything was together. But before it was together, there was a under finish. And that looks like bluing, this little triangle in the corner here. To me, looks like it was blued, and it's much smoother, more polished. I don't know if you can see it. See that corner there? There. That looks more polished and like blue. So maybe the parts were blued, and then once everything was populated and put together, I'm thinking maybe they blasted it and then oxided it, and that's why now you have the slightly rougher finish. Maybe that answers some questions about how they finished. I don't know. I hope somebody like AK Blue or somebody chimes in and says, yeah, maybe that's the case, and can give me a definite. God, it's gonna be super hard to ever get another kit and have it live up to the expectations here. This is the first kit I've ever gotten, and to get something this nice, I read on different forums and whatnot, and they say, oh, I got this kit, it's nice, but this or that, or they say, look at this really nice kit, and I look at it and I go, look at that piece of crap, So to get this as a first kit, boy, I'm going to be disappointed with everything else out there. All the little pins and everything are in here. They weren't. They were in your usual typical crappy bag. And the bag had a hole in it, and a part was hanging out of it, and I thought, oh, great, here we go. But got everything laid out here. I'm missing one pin, and I believe it's a front sight block pin. I'm missing one. I'm going to go back through the box, see if it's in there, but I think I would have saw it, and it's not there. Interesting, the little tube here, my Aes 10B didn't have that, and I was really upset. I kind of thought that was one of the things it should have had, but I guess the early ones didn't have this tube, so I'm happy I got that. Also, my other Aes 10B has a ribbed cover, and this has the solid heavier cover. I'm happy about that. This couldn't make me happier. I got everything I wanted. I got the extended bipod, the heavier cover and smooth cover, the little nipple on the front handguard, retainer, the dong, what else? I guess that's it. But you talk about a kit that shows you exactly how the military version came out. I mean, this is it. You know, there's other kits and people say, well, they did it like this or they did it like that. Well, this is how they did it. They had these rifles, pictures of them there with exactly assembled, you know. They found a stash of these and demilled it, and here it is. With the small number of these kits that came in, you know, Century brought them in before, and it was a small amount then. And they didn't have the dongs. I don't know if they didn't have them or Century pitched them because they thought the general public wouldn't want it on the few paratroopers they brought in or what. But, you know, as far as I know, the only ones in existence are this batch with the dong and all this stuff. I got to think this is going to be just an exceptionally rare kit. Got the barrel, got a flat. I think what I'll probably do is a Childers receiver. He's got the Romanian RPK receiver. I hear nothing but good things. He can do the markings, all that, and done. As far as assembling it, I guess I could do it. I mean, I'm fully capable of it. I haven't done one. But I've been a mechanic most of my life. I understand the guns. I understand the tooling. You know, I'll have a few questions along the way, but I'm sure I can do it. The question is, I'm bound to have something not come out just perfect, maybe whether it's rivet heads or something like that. Not to mention the value of the gun down the road. You know, when somebody, a kit build comes up for sale, the first question is, well, who built it? Well, if it's Joe Blow, you know, people might be a little leery of it. Now, this is a rarer kit, so there'll be interest, but it certainly, I think, would add value and enhance the overall gun if a big builder were to do it. So any suggestions you guys have, throw it my way and we'll see. I've got an idea of a builder I know that I'm acquaintances with and friendly with, and I might ask him to give me a hand, hint, hint, but I'll probably end up needing a builder. So anybody you guys can suggest, and receivers, finishes. I almost hate to redo the finish on it, but you know, obviously the barrel's got to be done, the receiver's got to be done, and then assembling it, things are probably going to happen. So I don't know whether to leave it and just do the few parts or do the whole thing, because it sure would be nice to have it perfect. I'm OCD when it comes to that. If a gun's got a scratch on it, I don't want it. Other than my everyday shooters, you know, something like this, I want it perfect, perfect, perfect. You know, my first thought was, well, I'm going to Cerakote the thing. Well, now I'm seeing it, that ain't happening. This gun's special, and it deserves to be put back the way it was. Cleaning rod came with it too, straight. I can't say how many, Andrew, wow, you blew me away, man. Outstanding stuff. Can't say enough about them. Although my address was wrong. It got sent to an address that they couldn't find. I had to go pick it up. Probably my fault, fat finger and stuff or something. Came with our special parts, you know. Obviously we got to pitch those. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a stock. It doesn't even have any scratches for being set down, you know. I mean, the thing is just immaculate. Immaculate, perfect. Rear trunnion. Grip, even the grip is nice. Really nice grip. Got a little pattern to it, nothing too crazy, but nice grip. Unissued. I can't believe it. I don't know what the hammerware's from. unless maybe they touched it up at the factory. It did have, I wish I could find it here, maybe I can, hold on. Yep, that is all the dirt that came out of the gas block that was not orange cosmoline like that. This was carbon out of the gas block, so they must have test fired it, and that's all the carbon that came out, hardly anything. So the gun obviously wasn't fired, unissued, perfect wood, perfect bluing, parkerizing, whatever you want to call it. Just unbelievable. What a find. What a find, what a find, what a find. So I thought this was, I was going to do an unboxing, but I was way too excited. I couldn't wait. So there it is, all laid out for you. I'll throw in some pictures along the way to show you the serial numbers and all of that good stuff. And please let me know what you think. Let me know what you should do. You know, I give you guys a lot of information when I can, what I know, but by no means am I an expert. I just enjoy helping people along with the little bit of knowledge I have, and I gain knowledge every day from you guys. And I appreciate that. I'm a voracious reader, and that's where I glean the little bits and pieces I do have. So please throw some comments in. Let me know what you think. I hope you think it's as cool as I do. And we'll hopefully be bringing you some videos of this thing coming together. All right, guys. As always, please like, subscribe, and Rockford Ordnance out. Thanks.